4000 BC. Assyrians' religion in Mesopotamia. Iraq is the father of the later Assyrian Empire's religion. The family of religions lasted thousands of years in the Middle East. They practiced sacred prostitution, probably why they say the empire went up and down quite a bit. 3500 BC. Civilization started in Middle and South America around this time. A succession of great civilizations there, from the Valadiva, Olmec, and later and more familiar Mayan, Aztec and Inca civilizations generally built impressive temples and pyramids and believed in ritual sacrifice. (2600 BC). The ancient Egyptians built the Great Sphinx at Giza. It is among the oldest religious monuments surviving today, although a local Muslim leader attempted to destroy it 2,000 years after its construction on religious grounds. He only succeeded in removing the nose. 2400 BC. Canaanite and Minoan religions believed in human sacrifice and possibly child cannibalism. 2000 BC. Hinduism spreads elephant-headed gods from India into Southeast Asia. Along with Jainism, it's probably the world's oldest major religion still practiced today. Jainism emphasizes pacifism. 1700 BC. The Hittite religion was another offshoot of the Mesopotamian religion. They believed that the god of thunder was conceived when the king god bit off the sky god's genitals. The story is made all the more weird by the fact that the sky god is the king god's father. 1500 BC. Mycenaean religion gave rise to Poseidon, later known as Neptune. He ruled the oceans for at least 2,500 years until put into unemployment by Christianity. (750 BC). Greek religion is influencing the Etruscans in Italy, explaining the similarity of Greek and Roman mythology. 600 BC. Buddha is born in northern India, probably Nepal, as a Hindu prince. The religion he started is comparatively rare in India today. 400 BC. Zoroastrianism in Persia believes the world started out flat, but that evil created mountains. Zoroastrianism believes in only one god, which is termed monotheism. 300 BC. Southeast Asian fishermen have discovered Madagascar. Animism remains the main religion there to this day. 200 BC. Jainism temporarily has official sanction over Hinduism and Buddhism in India. 0 AD. Buddhism follows the Silk Road to China, displacing local folk religions as the main religion for poor people there. The elite followed Taoism, but successive dynasties are often tolerant of religions. There's also Confucianism, but that is generally regarded as a philosophy rather than a religion. 200 AD. Zoroastrianism follows Buddhism's lead by taking the trade routes to China, where it survives for about 1,000 years, long after it is persecuted into a minority faith in its native Iran. 250 AD. Gnostic Christianity is rivaling Catholicism in Europe. If it had not been successfully suppressed, Christianity might be massively different today. 450 AD. The Goths and Vandals that vandalized Rome were actually Christians. They followed Arianism, which was an early form of Christianity that for a time rivaled the Church in Rome. 700 AD. Islam spreads as far as Spain in the west. It also controlled Sicily at one point. 800 AD. Despite centuries of persecution, a form of Gnostic Christianity briefly becomes the state religion in what's now Mongolia. 850 AD. Irish Catholic monks try out Iceland. They give up before the Vikings arrive. 950 AD. Despite the Muslim dominance of North Africa, the Christian kingdom of Aksum and its successors hung on in Ethiopia. In the Middle Ages they built monolithic churches hidden within solid bedrock. 1200 AD. The Pope disapproves of Catholicism, another form of Gnostic Christianity which exists in southern France. He launches a crusade into France. When some French Catholics stay with the heretical Cathars, the order is given to just kill everyone, God will know his own. 1300 AD. The last pagan kingdom in Europe, Lithuania, finally succumbs to Christianity. 1350 AD. The French set up their own pope. The schism lasts about 100 years. At one point they even launch a crusade against the Roman Catholics in Naples. 1400 AD. In Eastern Europe the Hussites want reform. The Catholics lure the leader John Hus to a meeting on the promise of safe passage, but then they torture and burn him at the stake. The Hussite wars follow. 1550 AD. The Reformation starts in Europe. Luther, Calvin and Zwingli lead the charge. Luther allegedly nails a list to a church door. The Catholics nail Anabaptists' genitals to the city gate in Munster. 1650 AD. The leader of the Russian Orthodox Church erroneously decides it's been doing its ceremonies incorrectly. Things like the correct way to hold the fingers when making the sign of the cross, or which way to walk in a circle. Those that do not change to the revised doctrine are persecuted. 1850 AD. In southern China a Christian convert decides that he is the younger brother of Jesus Christ. His Christian rebellion costs 20 million lives. Meanwhile Mormonism decides that Jesus will actually come again in America, not China. 1900 AD. The Christianization of Central and Southern Africa is in full swing. The Dutch Reformed Church, the official church in South Africa, actively supported apartheid. Several uniquely African Christian denominations are created. 1950 AD. Only 2 of the 55 founding fathers of America were Roman Catholics. Yet due to mass immigration, Catholicism was soon the largest religious group in the United States. In the 1920s, the Protestant Ku Klux Klan was focused on anti-Catholicism. 2000 AD. The Zoroastrianism pixel in India actually represents the minority Parsi community. They originally fled Islamic persecution in Iran. Freddie Mercury was a Parsi.